Hello, everyone. Hello, this is Jessie Bowen, and welcome to the Become an Author podcast. I'm here today with my dynamic co-host, Natalie McQueen. Hey, Natalie.
Hi, Jessie. How's it going?
Hey, you know what I'm going to say? Better.
And better.
We're trying to make the world a better place. And
that is
what
a good
better
goal.
place it is, and you have your legacy. Talking about your legacy, what's going on in your life, how do you take your own life experience and help someone else build something great. I know we have a great topic today that we want to talk about in our Become an Author tips and tricks, part of what we do. But before we get started, Natalie, this is the time of the year that we go back and we begin to reminisce and what happened last year. We begin to set our goals for what we want to happen this year. There's so many great things that are happening, especially for authors in being able to launch their books. And it's just such a wonderful world. That's the reason why we do this every week, to really try to encourage people to consider, you have a legacy, you have stories that are so valuable that you don't even know about, not just financially valuable, but stories that can change someone else's life. So why don't we chat about that just for a moment before we get started? Just on the, some of the clients we've had this year and how we realize our books and helping them to be able to publish, our book marketing techniques and publish their books on some of the things that's been happening with them.
Absolutely. Well, what I would love to do is start it with a quote, because I was playing around with some quotes and this one came about. And sometimes as, a new author, you wonder, is my book cover okay? Is my book, is my ability to write good enough? Is, my title or my subtitle, is it the best it could be? And sometimes we compare ourselves to other people. And when I came across this quote, I thought, this is so perfect for what we're talking about, is the only person you should try to be better than is who you were yesterday. And if you think about that, whether you have a book or want to have a book, it's something that you can strive to be better and to make your book better. And we talked a little bit about this in our last podcast, that if you have a book and it's not doing well, or you really haven't promoted it like you would like to, then we can do a book assessment on it and we can look at the different features, your cover, your title, your subtitle, and we can go through and really help you spice it up so it can be better and you can be better and you can start bringing that important message that you have out to the world. So I think today we're going to talk about specifically book titles and subtitles and how important they are.
Yeah, so you want to kick it off. I know you have a list of things on the title. And really, titles is really important, because if I'm at Barnes and Noble at a bookstore, and maybe I'm in the sports section, the martial arts section, and I'm going through, I'm looking at the titles of the book to see which one of those titles will be of interest to me for what I'm looking for in the martial arts. Which title is it? Something I'm looking on traditional martial arts, non-traditional, fighting, self-defense. What am I looking for? And that title is where I'm going to start. I see a lot of books, but that one title that's going to speak to what I'm looking for. So let's chat about that a little bit.
Sure. So do you find when you're looking at books, do you see a title, and if it doesn't tell you exactly what's in the book, do you keep looking, or do you like that kind of catchy title that makes you stop and say, what is that about?
I like that title that makes me stop, because generally I'm always in a hurry. So when I get there, it's not one of those hangout things. I want to see titles that will, I love motivational books. So I want to see a title that's going to speak to goal setting, that's going to be powerful enough for me to stop and go, okay, that's different. And it's the same thing, or even online when I'm looking at things, the title and what is the subtitle of it. So I generally, I'm looking for something that gives me, oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're looking at your book title, you really have to think about, who your book is for, what is the topic of your book, and what is the goal? Are you taking them through something, or like you said, goal setting? Do you achieve, your life goals? What is that book going to promise you? So sometimes when you have a really strong title, your subtitle can give more details about what your book is about. And you want it to be either catchy, eye-catching, where they say, I need to know more, or does it make that promise that your book is going to solve that pain point?
Yeah, well, and that's true. I go back to earlier this month when I released my book, and it went to the title. Basically, it was 2 words. So how many words you have in your title, you don't want it so far out there that it takes a person too long to get it. So the shorter the title is and the more impactful, my book, God Forgives. That's sort of like the first part of it. God forgives. So if I'm a person and I'm looking at, and this is what I was thinking when we came up with the title, I see, in my head, God forgives. That should be the simplest thing there. If I'm looking for a book to help me work through some things on forgiveness, and that first 2 words, God forgives, then the second part of it is like a 2-part title. God forgives. Then it goes, why not you? So that's sort of became the title. Then the subtitle, breaking the generational chains of unforgiveness. The book became an international bestseller. We have a lot of categories that it ranked #1 in, but it was those first sort of like 2 titles in one. God Forgives. Then the other part is why not you?
Well, and that, I think God Forgives, why not you is catchy. You're like, whoa, why not me? And then your subtitle really tells you kind of what the book's going to be about and kind of your promise to the reader. So I really like that. It's a very effective title.
Yeah, so, and that's what you want to be thinking about. So when you're writing a book, you want to be thinking about the title. And you may be a person, maybe you're a novice and this is your first book. Well, I don't really know how to be able to make that decision. Well, the easy point is to contact Elite Publications and let us help you, brainstorm through some titles. The other thing you can do, there's software online that you can go to and find that can actually help you to be able to generate ideas in that. But when you have a coach and you got a human that, I can listen to your title because, we're dealing with books every day. We're dealing with keyword searches. We're dealing with all these things. So we have a pretty good idea of what that title is out there based upon your genre that's going to really work for you. So that's the reason why, you can go and get a software and learn how to use it. And, that's another 2-week shot. And then you still may not have what you're looking for. Find a coach, everyone. This is the best thing that I would tell you. If you're serious that you want to publish a book and you want your book to be meaningful and you want it to have an impact, get a coach. And again, of course, I'm gonna recommend Elite Publications first, but get a coach. Let's sit down and let's now look at your title. Let's get excited about your title. And that's one of the places that I always tell people to do is grab a sheet of paper, start writing down things that has your topic in. If it's forgiveness, how many ways can you talk about forgiveness, but to be able to make it impactful that I want to now read more.
Right. The other thing too, when you want to make it really memorable, like when I was looking at mine, Gifts of Legacy is my title, and then the ultimate blueprint for generations to enjoy. So it gives you more of what the book is about. And Gifts of Legacy gets people's attention to say, oh, I never really thought of my legacy as a gift. There's a lot of ways to think of it, or what is the gift of legacy? So it makes them want to know more. So you want to make it eye-catching. You want to make, sometimes we talk about making your subtitle your little salesperson. So your title can be catchy, your title can, try to get their attention, but then your subtitle is the little salesman that is saying, hey, you need this. You want to pick up this book and know more, and this is what I promise you.
Well, this is the reason why when you're looking at your title, you want to have in there, I touched on it just a moment ago, you want to be able to have in your title, what is the problem that you're going to solve? So right. You don't want to get to for someone to get all the way to the end and then trying to figure it out. You want to have, what is the solution, that this book is going to be, what is it going to resolve for you? You want to create your subtitle to make it clear, to have clarity in your subtitle. So when you now begin to actually, you're working on your title, you want to be able to make sure it's a memorable, it's like you talked about legacy. Right. Yep. As I said, God forgives, you want to make it something that is really memorable. I always try to think of it when I'm looking at a title, I want my title to be my brand. Right. So there's a series of books now that we can come out that's titled God Forgives. Then there can be God Forgives, go ahead and set your goals. It can be any of those things in there. Something that is easy for me to remember. Right. And so you really want to think about, when you're looking for your title, you can also go online. I always like to go online and look at the #1 bestsellers. What are their titles? I mean, you don't have to try to figure everything out, because there are people already at the top. Now, you're not able to go in and pleasurize and take their title, break copyrights, but you want to use that as an example to see, well, my book is in the Christian category, and so what is I want to talk about? What's my subject matter that I'm going to use? And then you find that topic. And for me, it's always about, especially if I'm writing, it's really all about myself, where I am right now, what I'm going through, what I'm learning, what I'm teaching, and trying to be able to connect that back with the genre that I'm writing to. And if you're writing in a fiction, a nonfiction genre, you need to be able to connect that title that brings that excitement and enthusiasm for that person to want to follow.
Absolutely. I was thinking about, in the past, I've done some workshops and we talked about doing this. So maybe this is something that we will announce coming up in January. And it's your bestseller blueprint layout of your book. And this includes your title and subtitle. And you're so right that Amazon or other bookstores can be such a help on what's attracting your eye, looking at the fonts, looking at, the titles, and again, not to copy, but to see, oh, well, that really caught my eye. What did I like about that? And then looking at the subtitles, looking at the book covers. And then we can take you in deeper where you're you're analyzing some of the reviews of kind of your competitors' books and see what people liked or didn't like. It can give you kind of an eye-opening experience when, someone says, I'll give you an example. We have a friend that is a book publisher, and he did, I think it was a violin book, and it showed you how to play the violin. He had all the staffs, the music, how to read the notes. And then at the end, he put 2 or 3 blank pages so you could write your own notes and create your own music. Well, he had a bunch of people comment and say, oh, I like the blank pages with the staffs so I could write my own notes, but I wish there was more. So he thought, okay, if that's what they want, that's what I'll give them. And he created an entire book and called it the violin blank staff book or something like that. And the entire book was blank sheets of staff so they could write their own music. And do you know that's one of his biggest sellers? And he makes about $15,000 a year on that book. And he got that from the comments of, the feedback of his readers.
Well, this feedback, that is the key. You have to listen to your audience. One of the things we did on my book was we came back in and we had the titles for them the covers for them to select.
Yes, that's always fun.
Which one did you like best? And it really got them to engage, but you can do the same thing with your titles. So you can, post maybe on social media, hey, I need your help. And maybe you've got 1,000, 2,000, or you may have that limit of 5,000 friends. And so I need your help to select a title. Which title do you like best? And then you may have, which subtitle do you like best? Or you may have to question, which subtitle and title do you like the best that you feel that goes with the book? So getting your audience feedback is really key. So there's a lot of these little things that we do before we get to releasing a book, before we decide what the title is, before we decide what the cover is going to look like. So again, getting the feedback from your audience, what it is that they like about your book, what it is that they like about the interior. I mean, all those things when your clients and your friends are looking at that is to give you feedback. And from that feedback, you can make the adjustment. And that's one of the reasons why I love pre-launching a book first, that, we have this 90 days of pre-launch. So if we find things that we need to do to make the book better, we've got this 90 days to be able to do it in, as people are already pre-ordering the books.
Absolutely. The other good thing about that is, again, when you're a new author and you're not used to posting about your book or posting you as an author, it's a step into introducing people to see you that way. So you can share your book cover, you can ask for their opinion on the title and subtitle. And then what can happen from there is, if you want to keep it a bit of a secret, you can do a cover reveal and get people excited to see which cover you went with.
You're exactly right. And, we've given everyone a lot of really good tips today. So when you're thinking about your book and you're trying to think about a title, then you got a lot of resources that you can do to find that title. You don't have to wait until your 3rd or 4th or 5th book to become an international bestseller, because you can have your book launched, your very first book, to be in that international bestseller list, generating revenue, generating all these different opportunities to help you gain financial success, if that's what you're looking for. And that's what you have to decide when you're writing the book, is what is the outcome you want the book to have. And this is a reason why you should contact us so we can help you walk through, what is it I want my book to do? Am I going in the right direction? What's the next step? Now, if you're trying to do this on your own, there's a learning curve that you have to go through. Or if you said, well, I don't really want to go through that learning curve, I want to publish my book, then contact Elite Publications and we can take care of that for you. It's a brand new year coming up. I know that you're excited about it. I'm excited about it. This is the year you can make a difference. You can make a difference, number one, in the knowledge that you have and how to present it. You can make a financial difference in your world through your book publishing and all the different things that you can create that actually goes with that. So any last words you want to share, Natalie?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like you said, some people will say, oh, I'm going to do it on my own, and people have. But what often happens is they miss the key things. They miss little things that can help get their book out there. Or I've literally heard, I've been working on my book for 10 years. I'm thinking, you could have been selling your book for 9.5 years if you came to us, So make 2023 the year that you become an author and that you get your message out there. And come to us. We have all sorts of packages, from the beginning author to the international rock star. We have a wonderful special that we're running right now. And it's a great starter spot with a lot of really unique marketing to get you and your book out there. So come and talk to us.
And how do you get in contact? Well, you can give us a call or text 919-618-8075. You can go to our website and schedule an appointment. And the website address is elitepublications.org. That's Elite Publications with an S.org. Go to our website, check out our website. But remember, dreams can now turn into reality. This is the year to turn your dreams into reality, because your story, your success, even your failures that you've learned from, can help direct someone else to a positive place. So remember, everyone has a story. You just have to get it out.
Absolutely. Have a good one. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Helen Chang Vasiliadis. Please join me and hundreds of women across the United States who have been nominated into the first book, Women in Martial Arts Hall of Honors and Legacy. This event will be launched in Atlantic City in January 2023 at the Action Martial Arts Hall of Honors event. Your contribution will be donated towards the American Cancer Society and help the women who are nominated their participation. Please take time to donate today. Thank you.